Hey girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I did this dip powder nail set using products from Kiara Nails. So as you can see, I do already have the right hand done. I did this set off camera and honestly, I wasn't planning to do a tutorial for this nail set, but they came out absolutely gorgeous. I am absolutely obsessed with these, so I did decide to do a video on it just in case any of you guys are curious. So I do already have my left hand prepped for the application. They do look a little bit crazy, so just ignore that, but I have the nail tips on and I have a thin layer of dip powder on my natural nails. So let's get right into the video. For the powder, I am going to be using this white all-in-one acrylic powder. This is called Glistening Snow. This can be used as a dip or acrylic. This is an absolutely gorgeous white that does have like fine glitter in it. I'm obsessed with this white acrylic. The other color I am going to be using for the ombre is called Rose Water. Again, this is an all-in-one acrylic. Both of these, by the way, are from the Cover Acrylic collection. Because I am doing dip powder, I am using the base, which is number 2. This is a nail resin to adhere the acrylic to your nails. I am also using my diamond from my dabbing dish just to prop up my finger. Let's get right into the application. I am starting with the color Glistening Snow for the index nail. I'm just taking the dip base and I'm applying a thin strip right underneath where the nail tip meets my natural nail. I did a thin strip all the way down to the free edge and I'm going to dip into the powder. I am going to repeat this step to all of the other nails. This is the first layer of many for this dip powder nail set. As you guys probably already know, I do a lot of dip powder layers for my nails, especially if they are this length. For this manicure, I actually did a total of 6 layers of dip powder. That is a little bit more than I typically do. Usually I kind of stick between 4 and 5 layers of dip powder. But I have actually started lifting weights again, so I do want to give my nails a little bit more strength to prevent them from breaking during a workout. So that is just what I did for this manicure. Typically, just for the color coverage of the dip powder that you're using, you want to use like 2 or 3 layers. But again, because these nails are quite long, I did more layers to give the nails more strength. After the first layer is dry, I am taking a fluffy brush to dust away all of the excess powder from the nails. This step is really important to prevent contaminating your dip base. For the second layer, I'm just covering a slightly larger area than the previous layer of dip powder. This is going to start gradually building up these layers. If you kind of skip a good amount of the nail, you may notice a ledge, but when you very gradually build it up as I'm doing, you don't really notice any ledges in your manicure, which does make the filing time a little bit shorter. For the middle 2 nails, I am going to be doing a dip powder ombre, but as you guys know, I kind of struggle with all of the dip powder ombre methods that don't use the ombre scrub method. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit weird. It may look kind of crazy, but at the end, the ombre does look really good. So for the 2 middle nails, I am applying the dip base to the same area of the nail that I did the previous nails. But instead of dipping the entire nail into the white, I'm actually going to do kind of like you would a French tip. Then I'm going to pour the pink over the rest of the dip base. Essentially, I'm kind of doing like French tips, but I don't have a specific line that I'm going up to because I don't want a harsh line in my ombre. Because I actually decided to do this last second, I just grabbed my cuticle pusher to pour the dip powder over the previous nail, but I did switch over to using one of the trays from the recycling system. These trays are super useful. I do actually use them a lot more than I thought I would. They're very handy for your nail sets. I would definitely recommend to get it if you do dip powder nails. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat basically the same steps I've just showed you to do more layers of dip powder. I want to go ahead and explain why I'm doing the 2 middle nails this way. It does look a little bit weird, and honestly, if I was watching, I would be so confused. Basically, I'm going to be doing a dip powder ombre scrub, which if you watch my videos, you know I do this method all the time. Typically, when you do dip powder ombre scrubs, you do want to make the base of your nails the lighter of the colors that you're using, because if you use the darker shades as the base of your ombre, it's not going to show up when you try to scrub in the lighter colors. Even if it's white, I have tried it multiple times, and you do need to use the lighter shade for the base color. So knowing that, the reason I'm doing the two middle fingernails this way is because I've actually recently done a dip powder ombre scrub with Kiara Sky Powders. I used Mauve Taupe as the nude color for that ombre, and the color didn't quite show up as dark as I was hoping. So I knew that using an even lighter cover acrylic from Kiara Sky wasn't going to show up how I wanted. I did want the color to be very pigmented for the ombre. So because of that, I did decide to make the cuticle area of the nail pink and the tip of the nail white, just to make sure I have a good pink color for the bottom of the nail. Honestly, I could have done a dip powder ombre like the typical method dip powder ombres, but I really struggle with those. Even though I would be covering it up, I feel like it still would not look how I wanted it to. So I just went ahead and did this for the ombres. If you guys are interested to purchase any of the items that I'm showing in this video, I will have everything linked down below. You can use my discount code KCNAILS on the Kiara Sky website to save 10% off of your purchase. Once all of the dip powder layers have been applied and they are fully dry, I am going to take the Seal Protect, which is step number 3, and I'm going to be applying this very generously to all of the nails. As you guys may know, Seal Protect does harden the layers of dip powder and allows you to properly shape and file the nails. After the Seal Protect has dried, I am taking the Kiara Sky 100 grit hand file, and I'm going to go ahead and reshape the edges of the nails. For this nail set, I am going for a square or very slightly tapered square nail shape. I am also going to be filing the surface of the nails with a hand file as well. Because filing and shaping can be very time consuming, I'm going to go ahead and file all of the other nails off camera. So here are the nails after I have filed and shaped. The two middle nails look really crazy at this point, but don't worry, the dip powder ombre scrub is going to make them look a little bit better. To do the ombres, I am taking the Kiara Sky Color Base Base Coat Gel. This does have to be cured under the nail lamp. I am using my LED lavender lamp from Kiara Sky. I love this one so much. I use it all the time. I am obsessed with it. I would definitely recommend it if you do your own nails. So taking the base coat gel, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a thin layer to the two middle nails for the ombre scrub. And we are going to be curing for 30 seconds under the LED nail lamp. After the base coat is cured, I am going back with the same pink all-in-one acrylic powder and this small fluffy nail brush. I am just picking up the powder and I'm going to go ahead and start scrubbing that into the sticky layer of the base coat. As you guys may know, I use this technique all the time. I am super obsessed with it. If you are a beginner, I would definitely recommend that you try this method on yourself. It is super easy. The ombres always turn out really good, and it's also really easy to remove if you mess up. Just take a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol and go ahead and rub off the powder from the base coat. If you want to redo it, you will have to apply another layer of the base coat gel for the powder to stick, but it is super easy. So after doing the two ombre nails, I did decide to do a second layer of the ombre just because there was such a harsh line between the pink and the white. I did want to make sure to have as flawless of a transition as possible. So for me to do that, I did decide to do a second layer of the ombre. I am just repeating the exact same steps for the second layer as well. You guys may know if you watch all of my videos, but you can actually do this method on cleared jelly tips as well. Again, you will have to do at least 2 layers of the dip powder ombre, but it is super easy and very quick. You don't have to worry about doing a full dip powder set for that. You would just go straight in with your base coat and go ahead and start doing your ombre. So after removing the excess powder from the ombre, I am going to go ahead and take the Velvet Matte Gel Top Coat from Kiara Sky, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a layer to those two nails to seal in the ombre. Whenever you finish your dip powder ombre scrubs, you do want to make sure to apply a top coat because you can still mess up your ombre, and if you're doing your other nails, you may not realize it and bump your nails against something, and that will ruin your ombres. So once you finish, do make sure to go ahead and apply your top coat. I did go ahead and apply the matte top coat to the thumbnail as well. Once I applied the top coat to those 3 nails, I did go ahead and do a full manicure under the LED nail lamp. Next, I am taking these really pretty blue rhinestones. You have a bunch of circles and bigger shapes. I did get these on Amazon. I will link it down below as well. To apply the rhinestones, I am taking the Bling It On gel from Kiara. This holds the rhinestones on very well. I am just going to be using my rhinestone picker to apply the rhinestones. I'm going to be using these big diamond shapes for the main rhinestone of the nails. So I'm just applying a thin strip of the Bling It gel down the center of the nail wherever I plan to place the rhinestones. Taking the wax pencil, I picked up the diamond rhinestone shape and I placed that towards the cuticle of the nail. For these circle rhinestones, I am just using the 2 smallest sizes. I am placing 2 of these on both sides of the diamond rhinestone towards the cuticle of the nail. Using the same size of rhinestones, I'm placing 2 on the other side of the diamond. Then I'm going to apply 2 of the smaller rhinestones above those 2. Once I place all of the rhinestones on the nail, I'm going to try to get the placement exactly how I want. Then taking the Kiara non-white top coat gel, I'm going to be applying this around the rhinestones. I do not want to top coat over top of them, so I'm trying to make sure not to get any top coat on the rhinestones themselves. I am just applying the top coat just around the edges. Once I apply the top coat to the rest of the nail, I did go ahead and do a full cure under the nail lamp. I am going to go ahead and do the exact same steps for the pinky nail as well. For the placement of the rhinestones, I am doing the exact same as the index nail as well. Once I apply the rhinestones, I am going back with the top coat gel and I'm applying this just around the edges of the rhinestones. And of course, I'm going to cure that layer for a full minute. We're going to go ahead and do the 3D flowers now. So I do have my diamond dapping dish filled with some rubbing alcohol. I am going to be doing some polygel. I do have a small dotting tool as well and a polygel brush to help me form the flower petals. I am just going to be using a white polygel for these flowers. I am taking the dotting tool dipped in the rubbing alcohol and I'm going to pick up a really small bead of the white polygel. For 3D flowers, you really don't need too much because you do want the flower petals to be quite small. So I am just placing this on the side of the middle fingernail. Making sure to drain out the excess alcohol from the brush, I'm going to go ahead and start forming the flower. Flower petals are actually really easy but difficult at the same time. You want to make sure to have a very defined line in the center of the flower petal, and this is what's going to make it look the most 3D. You want to make sure to go over the edges of the flower petal as well very often to make sure that you don't push it down too much. Because this is a 3D flower, you do want it to stick off the nail quite a bit. If your flower petal is not looking 3D enough, you may want to push up the sides of the flower petal just to make it look a little bit more 3D. One reason that I am doing this with polygel is because I don't really work with acrylic that much and I haven't tried doing 3D flowers with acrylic yet. So I didn't want to try doing acrylic flowers yet, but I did want to do flowers on the nail. Once I have the flower petal like I want, I did go ahead and do a half cure under the nail lamp. I'm going to repeat the same process to do all of the other flower petals. For this specific type of flower, the 2 flower petals in the middle are not pointed, they are very small and round. I'm not quite sure what type of flower this is, but I really like how it looks. A lot of people that do 3D flowers on nails do this style of flower and I think it is so pretty. Honestly, these circle flower petals are so much easier than the pointier ones. Doing 3D flowers is not really that difficult, but you have to make sure to get all of the beads of polygel to be the exact same size. Otherwise, the flower is not going to look even, it's going to turn out kind of bad. So that is honestly my biggest struggle with doing 3D flowers, is trying to get all of the flower petals to be the same size. The thing about doing 3D flowers with polygel is you do have to cure each layer under the nail lamp because you can't do all of them at once. I have tried that and the flower petals just kind of melt together at some point and it makes the flower look really bad. So you do have to do all of the flower petals individually. When doing 3D flowers with polygel, you also don't want to use a polygel that is runny because it's not going to hold its shape, and by the time you go to cure, the flower petal is going to look very flat. You're not going to keep the shape that you created with your brush. Another really big tip with doing 3D flowers with polygel is making sure not to have too much alcohol in your brush, because if you do have too much, it is going to make the polygel a little bit runnier and again not hold the shape of the flower petal as you're working, which is going to make it very difficult. So when doing 3D flowers, there is one thing that I am very confused about. So if you do 3D flowers on your nails, let me know down in the comments because I would love to know. I'm honestly very curious. I do want the background of the flower nails to be glossy, but I did not want to apply the flower over a shiny top coat just to make sure that the flower did not pop off of the nail. So that is why I'm applying it onto a matte gel top coat. I do end up going back and top coating around the flower because I also don't like how the flower petals look when you apply a top coat. I feel like it doesn't make the flower petals look as 3D as I want. That is also something else that I'm curious about, is if people top coat the flowers. Honestly, I don't think so because I have tried top coating 3D flowers before and it does not look good to me. So yeah, that is just something that I am curious about, if I should have applied the top coat before doing the 3D flower, or if that would have made the polygel not adhere. So once all of the flower petals are cured, I did take the diamond and placed it back on my dish just to prop up my finger. I'm going to be using this gel polish color called Someone Like Blue. This is a really pretty royal blue gel polish. I am just taking the small dotting tool and picking up the blue gel polish color. I'm going to be doing a circle in the middle of all of the flower petals. I'm also going to be doing the same size circle at the cuticle area of the ring fingernail and a blue circle on the corner of my thumbnail. Once I have those 3 circles, I did cure for 30 seconds. Next, I am taking the gel art liner. This is the white canvas. So this is basically a white gel in a liner bottle. I didn't have a normal white gel polish, so I just decided to use this one. Again, I'm using the dotting tool and I picked up the white gel and I'm going to be doing a smaller dot inside the circles. I am doing an evil eye nail design. I have been wanting to do evil eye nails for a really long time, but for some reason I keep putting it off. So now that I got the blue rhinestones, I did decide to do the evil eye nail look because I wanted to include the rhinestones as well. For the last dot of the evil eye, you do want to make sure not to have too much polish at all on the dotting tool. Doing this is going to give you a very small dot. As you guys seen, I did all of these dots with the exact same dotting tool. I didn't change sizes or anything. So controlling the amount of gel that you have on the dotting tool does affect the size of your dots. I am going to go back and do the flower for the thumbnail. I am only doing 2 flower petals beside the evil eye. So the inspo for this nail set actually came from 2 different nail sets. I will insert some pictures of those 2 nail designs. I really love this one on the left. It is an absolutely gorgeous manicure using rhinestones. This is actually the main reason for me buying the rhinestones to begin with, because I love nail sets like this. So I wanted to do a nail set kind of like this. At the same time, I've been wanting to do an evil eye nail set for a very long time. I actually seen this nail set here on the right. I loved how this one looked. I personally didn't want to do a French tip, so I did actually skip that for this nail set. I love how minimal it is, but at the same time you get the good pops of color. So I did want to combine these 2 nail sets for this manicure. If you guys want to check out the creators of these 2 nail looks, I will link their Instagram photos down below in the description. And of course, I am going back with the non-white top coat gel and I'm going to be applying the top coat to the nails. I have already top coated the pinky and index nails, so I am only applying this to the ring, middle, and thumbnail. For the 3D flower nails, I did not top coat the 3D flowers. As I said earlier, I don't really like how that looks, so I'm making sure not to get any of the top coat on the flower. Do make sure you always wipe the sides of your nail before you cure gel polishes. This just keeps the shape of your nails. I never do a gel nail set without doing this. Last but not least, I am taking the Kiara Sky Cuticle Oil. This is the rose scent, my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to all of the cuticles. Kiara Sky Cuticle Oil is definitely my favorite. It has the best scent. It is very hydrating for your skin. I love how it feels on my skin. After massaging that in, here are the nails. I am obsessed with these nails. Let me know what you guys think of this nail set down below in the comments. Do make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you're not already, don't forget to hit subscribe because I do post weekly nail tutorials. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!